In a quiet corner of Waxhaw, a father spent his day at a funeral home.
I can't believe I'm here.
He'll soon be selecting flowers, choosing a casket, and doing the unimaginable, planning his 22-year-old daughter's funeral.
I'm officially the father of a murdered child.
Logan Federico took a weekend trip to Colombia. Colombia police say they believe after she and her friends returned home from a night out, the suspect, 30-year-old Alexander Dickey, broke into their house, fatally shooting Logan with a gun that he stole from another house. One shot, one life gone, and one father left to pay the unthinkable price.
No one's going to pinch me. I'm not going to wake up. Think about that.
His daughter should have been home with stories, but instead, all her family has left is memories. And a father, preparing to pick out the last dress his daughter will ever wear.
I can't believe I had to do that today. I can't believe I'm going to have to continue to do it until it's done.
His heart, built to protect.
I was supposed to be her hero and fix everything.
Stephen is not just planning a funeral, he's also planning a movement.
But she's speaking through me to tell people, I may be gone physically, but my dad is representing me. I'm going to figure out how to make kids safer at colleges and campuses and frat houses and stuff.
A father's worst nightmare, now becoming his life's work, fighting to make sure children get to come home. Now, Dickey has been charged with things like murder, multiple counts of burglary, second-degree arson, card theft. He's currently being held at the Lexington County Detention Center without bond. Reporting in Waxhaw, Tradisha Woodard, WCNC Charlotte. Before any words were read, this violin spoke. It spoke of love and loss, of duty and sacrifice. Unveiling something special, a permanent memorial of Tommy Weeks, just one of 4 officers lost in an ambush last year.
His end of watch, April 29, 2024.
For his family, it's been hard, but his 16-year-old stepdaughter, Mackenzie Swadley, says love from the community makes the pain easier to bear.
So happy that this many people came together, in honor of him, and also in honor of all 4 of those that did put their life on the line that day.
Dozens of people came dressed in their jerseys, all representing Tommy's favorite teams, or any team, honoring his service and the passion he shared when he wasn't in uniform.
Me and my mom, and she did so much stuff by herself that when Tommy came, he helped her out so much. It was amazing. I'm so thankful for him. Every single day, even though he's not here, he helped us out so much, and he treated me like I was one of his own.
This memorial, it represents a small token of appreciation of Tommy's life. And this violin, it carried what hearts couldn't. Wait. The tunes spoke for Tommy Weeks, and because it did, we will never forget. Tradisha Woodard, WCNC Charlotte.
Gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. Everybody has their own special, unique gifts, right? And each of us had our own musical gift, and we just one night started playing together.
From the stage to the crowd, hope echoed louder than the music. The Organic Soul Band is living proof recovery is real.
We're here only by God's grace, but more importantly, the millions of addicts and sorry, I can't get through it without crying. Alcoholics who don't make it.
Thousands of people are gathering in honor and celebration of International Overdose Awareness Day.
Anchor of Hope Sober Living founder Josh Bone is one of the groups behind this Overdose Awareness Day event. He too knows the struggle firsthand.
I got sober in April of 2017 after 50 different visits to detoxes and hospitals and jails. I felt like God was leading me to do something bigger.
His nonprofit now has 24 homes in Charlotte, housing about 160 people.
It is, the weather's nice, it turned out nice.
For Pastor John Whitaker, whose son's life was cut short to overdose, nights like these bring healing.
It gives me hope that people are out there to help, to bring awareness to what goes on with people today and shed a light on a subject that normally people like to tend to push away from.
The night serves as a remembrance of the loved one's loss.
Amazing thing happens when we stay the course.
Every success story, proof that even in the grip of addiction, new chapters can be written. Jessie Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
We're working it so. Thank you guys for having us. I love you guys.
Here at Charlotte Boxing Academy, students are taught to fight with their boxing gloves and put down the guns. One student I spoke with said this program is making a huge impact.
Roll. Catch.
Coach Sean Jackson is teaching students how to fight crime with boxing gloves.
Slip. Roll. 2, 3, 2.
You can actually come somewhere and you can learn a skill that you can transfer over to your life because you'll get discipline, you'll get love, you'll get correction.
12-year-old Jeremiah Brown comes to Charlotte Boxing Academy in West Charlotte, where students like himself say the training teaches leadership and self-discipline.
Just staying out of trouble and just keeping them managing their anger issues and all that. And this sport is to take it out and boxing.
Come on, you got it.
Jackson started coaching because of the impact it had on his life.
Catch.
The biggest lesson he wants students to learn is how one bad decision can change everything.
And I saw a lot of my friends get caught in the lifestyle of guns and drugs, but this, along with my family and my relationship with church and God, that kind of helped to steer me in a path where it kept me out of those things. Good? Ain't too tight, is it?
He believes this program is one solution to fighting violence in a community where even some of the kids he coached were impacted by gun violence.
Some of them that actually didn't get shot or killed, but got caught up in gun and gang violence. So it saddens us because we still try to go to the prison sometime and visit them.
The nonprofit develops competitive amateur boxers. 2 boxers went on to earn the Youth World Champion titles. Brown says having mentors he can look up to is helping him get one step closer to reaching his goal.
Y'all gonna see me in a few years, being on the big stage, a world champion one day, and a Hall of Fame.
Double those up, double them up.
In West Charlotte, Siobhan Riley, WCNC Charlotte.
There you go.
In July of 2021, I had 6 massive fibroids that weighed more than 7 pounds. 2 months later, I had them removed. I've never shared this publicly, but less than 2 years after that, the fibroids return. And I'll admit, it can be a painful journey. I'm sharing this story to let women know you are not alone.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Lakeisha Stanley and her 2-year-old son Elroy are full of joy now, but the journey to motherhood was quite the opposite.
Black. Boy.
We ended up having a miscarriage. I lost my first child at 19 weeks. I did not know that I had fibroids until I started on my journey to have children.
That's why Stanley decided to have a myomectomy, a surgical procedure to remove uterine fibroids.
Tried to get pregnant again. The first one was, again, unsuccessful, but then the third time was the successful pregnancy.
Stanley and her husband call their son their miracle child.
I would have never imagined the struggles that it took to bring life in.
Dr. Kelly Rouse, who also has fibroids, is an OBGYN with Atrium Health in Charlotte. She wants women to recognize the symptoms such as heavy menstrual cycles, feeling full lower back pain, reproductive problems, and enlargement of the lower abdomen.
The larger the uterus gets, the larger the belly gets, and sometimes you can look pregnant as well. And that increased size can cause pelvic pressure and discomfort as well.
Up to 80% of women may develop fibroids by the age of 50. Studies show African American women are 2 to 3 times more likely than white women to suffer from fibroids.
We don't know why or how, but we do know that Black women are more likely to get fibroids.
A lot of times you can feel alone.
Danielle LeGrand, who also overcame fibroids, is the director of communications and board member with the White Dress Project. It's a nonprofit bringing global awareness to women suffering from uterine fibroids.
It's a condition that many of us feel like we don't have that circle of women to connect with.
The goal is to advocate for more research and to encourage women to wear white as a symbol of hope.
White symbolizes power and strength because if you've had fibroids, wearing white can be discouraging. Us as women wearing white is taking our power and strength back.
Oh, right in the face. It's the kind of strength Stanley says gave her the courage to keep going when she thought it was impossible to have a child.
He is a ray of sunshine.
Are you done?
You don't break the camera.
And doctors say the #1 mistake people make is waiting too late to address their fibroids, which can lead to a blood transfusion or a stroke. Siobhan Riley, WCNC Charlotte.
Hope after Helene turned the streets of downtown Boone into spaces of healing 1 year after the devastating storm. The day began with a community quilting project demonstrating patchworks of memories, pain, and hope.
Quilt square that I'm making, I'm recreating a picture of our barn that actually got picked up by the water and was ripped in half. And I haven't looked at that picture very much since then, so it's kind of bringing back a lot of those emotions.
Those emotions stitched into each square alongside the comfort of sharing them with others.
This is, where the water has come through the mountains and it's ripped open these roads and bridges, and yet immediately what everyone did was go to start fixing them and go to start finding each other and connecting with each other.
Later in the day, residents attended a community resource fair.
But there's also a large emotional toll that this storm has taken. So even when there are big storms, like we had a couple of nights ago or even last night, it makes people anxious that another storm might be coming.
So residents were provided a space filled with poetry readings, recovery services, and group discussions about rebuilding emotionally and spiritually.
And that's kind of what this event's about. People that live through it and are still recovering themselves, but also looking to help neighbors at the same time.
The day also saw live music from local artists, keynote speakers, and community.
So amazing that we could go from something so intensely broken to so full of community and love for each other.
I think if anything, we're a stronger community today because of Hurricane Helene.
In Boone, Anna King, WCNC Charlotte.
Jennifer Bunty has always felt a deep connection to the land she's worked to protect.
Forests is a huge part of Western North Carolina.
But a job she loved.
We lost 14 people.
Coming to an abrupt end.
And there were 3 more of us that were terminated.
No warning, no time to prepare.
Just felt like a hit.
Bunty was one of thousands cut by the Trump administration in efforts of slashing government spending, with this termination letter highlighting the reason being based on performance.
The agency finds, based on your performance, that you have not demonstrated that your further employment at the agency would be in the public interest. My performance reviews have always been excellent, so I'm not sure what performance it's referring to.
Bunty also sharing concerns about the possible impacts of all the layoffs.
I am really concerned about the wildfire season, especially with the fuel loading from Helene. We have so many trees down.
She says the cuts could also impact recovery efforts in parts of Western North Carolina, with many communities still in need of crucial support.
We were understaffed to begin with to deal with this hurricane recovery. We had hoped that we might be able to hire people to help us with it. It's going to be very difficult for the people that are still there to move that through and get it in place for the people that need it.
Tradisha Woodard, WCNC Charlotte.
The speed limit in this school zone is 25 miles per hour, but we saw officers pulling people over for going nearly twice the speed limit. They say increased traffic congestion leads to more violations. If you ask Sergeant Kevin Wingate if Belmont has a speeding problem.
Definitely. The influx of residents, obviously you have more traffic. Our population almost doubles daily with commuters coming from Charlotte.
That's why the department started a traffic initiative on the first day of school. Officers are focused on speeding enforcement, stop sign violations, and pedestrian safety in areas where they receive the most complaints. We tagged along with Wingate while pulling drivers over for speeding in school zones.
First vehicle we stopped was 49 and 25 mile per hour school zone. Nothing on the vehicle was legal. Occupants in the vehicle, nobody had a license. There's no insurance on the vehicle. Speed violations.
Wingate says the number of drivers officers stopped on day one of the initiative was startling.
The first day was 33 traffic stops in a 4-hour period.
You say bye? Nope.
Cameron Morris says he notices drivers speeding every time he visits Belmont.
Since becoming a parent, I'm more aware of it. Just put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You know, we all have somewhere to go, right?
Biggest thing is presence. Just being here will slow people down. Not every stop requires a citation. All right, slow down for me.
Officers plan to release all of the traffic data they compiled over the past 2 weeks at the end of this week. In Belmont, Siobhan Riley, WCNC Charlotte. The family of Marcus Mosley honors his memory by coming out to this memorial they placed in their backyard. It represents every family who lost a loved one to gun violence.
Love you, Marcus.
Tina Sykes Mosley looks up at this photo in her living room every day of her son Marcus Mosley, a 28-year-old who lost his life to gun violence in Burlington, September of 2020. Mosley says her son was set up by someone he thought was his friend.
It is absolutely devastating to bury my child, but the hardest thing ever is living without him. Waking up every single morning, going to bed every single night, knowing my baby's not here.
The memories of Marcus are seen throughout the home, like this urn that his mother tries not to pick up because it brings back too many painful memories.
And it is so emotional when I do this, yeah. So I try not to, oh gosh, it's just chills.
Mosley, who's awaiting trial for the suspects in her son's death, is turning her pain into purpose. She started her own nonprofit named after Marcus, Mothers Advocating for Real Change and Unwavering Support.
The purpose of Marcus is to support other grieving mothers, give them what they need to navigate through the judicial system, help them navigate through this excruciating pain that'll never go away.
The nonprofit is a Homicide Victims Assistance monthly support group providing comfort for families awaiting trial. Mosley knows how important it is to have that support because she will face her son's killer in court this September, which marks 5 years since his murder.
5 years is an incredible long time and very concerning because so many people, they have to find the witnesses, and some people cannot be found.
3 people are charged with first-degree murder in her son's death. 2 others face other charges, which means Mosley has to go to court 5 separate times. Although she knows nothing can bring Marcus back, she hopes her story can help other families know they are not alone.
I was supposed to outlive him, He was supposed to be here.
In the meantime, she'll use her son's memorial garden to keep spreading the message about gun violence and the life her son lived.
I love you, baby. I would say I love you, and your name will forever live.
In Union County.
Wish you were here, Marcus.
Siobhan Riley, WCNC Charlotte.
Caroline area has provided more than 100 of these meals to families in the past week and a half. She says the reaction from those relying on this food shows how important these meals are.
I'm gonna make white bean and ham soup, and then I'm also gonna make sausage gnocchi.
Caroline Airy is making meals out of her kitchen to support as many families as possible impacted by SNAP delays.
And I really believe in loving people through food. So I've made the offer, anyone who needs it, I'll provide 2 free meals a week.
This is inspired by Airy and her family's prepared meal service business called Carryout. The business knew it had to pivot after so many families reached out asking for food.
The needs have really rolled in and the support has rolled in as well. So we've been making meals pretty much nonstop.
The meals are delivered directly to the homes of families in need with no questions asked.
I'll keep doing meals as long as there's a need. One of the big things that I've made sure is I don't need to see proof that you receive benefits. I don't need any of that. If you tell me you need help, there will be a meal on your doorstep sometime within the week.
Ari says the messages she receives from moms proves why the work she's doing matters.
The parents who have said, I'll go without food if my kids can eat. I don't need more than what you're providing. I just want to make sure that they have food.
And these meals are not just for those who rely on SNAP benefits, but anyone in need. To find out how you can get assistance, visit our website at WCNC.com. In Matthew, Siobhan Riley, WCNC Charlotte.
While most teens are spending their 3-day weekend resting, 15-year-old Jalen Henderson is getting to work.
It makes me feel good.
Boxes and boxes of goods from his home right to those in need.
I see some people in the streets having signs, so I just want to help them.
With his birthday money and some help from Mom, Jalen was able to collect enough items to help around 500 people.
Okay, we have hats, gloves, scarves, toothpaste, toothbrush, some bath soap.
And he's planning to load up and deliver these items to shelters this weekend.
I was inspired by Martin Luther King Jr. because he helped out his community during like the 60s, and I just want to help my community also.
His organization, Jalen's Journey to Stop Homelessness, has been doing this for 5 years now. And with temperatures this weekend dropping,
a lot of homeless people will be cold, so I just want to get them to keep warm.
Jalen says he's just picking up the weight where he can.
California has come to the Carolinas in the form of the Beach Boys, and so have a lot of people and one very special group from Phillips Academy.
The Phillips Academy group got a special invitation from the Beach Boys to their sold-out show at the amphitheater, the Amp in Ballantyne, as part of their Sounds of Summer tour.
Then it's going to be like watching a, for lack of a better way of putting it, kind of a little thunderstorm on stage.
Charlottean David Beard actually publishes the Beach Boys magazine. His son Ethan invited some of his friends to come along and join in the fun.
I am so excited for the Beach Boys and with my crew, and I'm very excited.
Phillips Academy serves middle and high school students with developmental and intellectual disabilities.
It's a good opportunity to kind of celebrate all of their success, all that they've accomplished this year, and just for them to have a space to be with their friends is a really, really unique thing.
Then the highlight of the entire concert. The students joined the Beach Boys and special guest John Stamos to sing the hit song Barbara Ann. A night of timeless music and unforgettable memories for these inspiring young performers. In Ballantyne, Larry Sprinkle, back to you.
We're here together for basically one reason. Clearly, we know there are too many issues to post on one side. Power to the people.
We have to use our voices to be here, we the people. To be here today in solidarity with other people who feel like I do, overall solidarity really means something to me.
A lot of people are unhappy with what's going on, and they want to be around people with similar feelings and views on things.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
Well, I think it's really important that we exercise our First Amendment rights to freely assemble and express our disdain for what's happening in our current political climate. I think there's power in numbers, and it is something to really be proud of, to exercise that right and to just be present and support and uplift everybody here.
Contact Tower 118.1.
For 20 years, this is the sound of Gary Clemmer's weekend.
We call ourselves aviation nerds.
He and his friends tracking the planes.
Have that 777 getting ready to take off. He's going to Los Angeles.
And listening to air traffic control. But this Sunday, 100 more listened with them.
Candlelight vigil currently taking place at the Charlotte Douglas Overlook.
Pilots and air crew gathered to honor the lives of the Charlotte-based crew lost to the mid-air collision in D.C.
This is not just a job we show up and get a paycheck. Because the reality is, they never boarded that flight expecting to not land.
A full crowd listening to the memories of pilots Jonathan Campos and Sam Lilly, and of the flight attendants Denasia Elder and Ian Epstein.
You know Ian, you know you can hear him from a mile away. And as we're gathered here, I want us to remember the great memories, because that's all we have.
All 67 lives lost are a tragedy, but it's stories like these and a community like this.
No matter where you are or where you're from, it still feels like it's a part of us when something happens.
That will make everyone listen.
Moment of silence.
Even in the silence.
Well, I spoke with local leaders at pantries who say the need is worse than it was during COVID, and now they're forced to do more with less as federal funding continues to dwindle away.
Everything is so high.
For families like Hazel Balcom, this is more than just a pantry.
It's difficult making ends meet.
It's also a lifeline. The bag she receives today means her granddaughter has something to eat tonight.
We need this. These places provide fruits and veggies and, healthy drinks for the families to have. You take this away, what kind of options are they going to have to feed their children?
Food pantries. They're the only thing standing between hunger. But their shelves, they tell a different story.
We were already experiencing record-breaking highs.
Stories of uncertainty.
It's an absolutely devastating time for families who are struggling to make ends meet.
Tina Pastel is the CEO of Nourish Shop. They're just one of many pantries working to meet the rising need with shrinking resources as federal funding continues to vanish.
Second Harvest sent out an email to all of its partner agencies just this last week that the TFAP funding is been cut by 50%. So that means that produce, eggs, frozen meat has all been canceled. We are trying to make up for that through private funding, but that's a lot of private funds.
Pastel says they're anticipating needing about $250,000 to make up for the cuts in the Emergency Food Assistance Program.
Healthy food should not be a luxury.
But for some, it continues to feel further out of reach.
It's very hard to understand why they're doing this in the first place.
Now, local leaders encouraging the community to be a part of the solution. If you'd like to make a donation, you can log on to our website. That's WCNC.com. Reporting for WCNC Charlotte, I'm Tradisha Woodard.
Now the bags are packed and the car is getting loaded up. Now it's time to head out to the airport on one of the busiest travel weekends of the year. But there's also things to consider about how long it'll take to get there. Some stop-and-go traffic along Billy Graham Parkway, making our way to long-term parking. The lot's pretty full, and finding an open spot was like playing a worse version of Where's Waldo. Thankfully, after 8 minutes, one was secured. A sigh of relief for some travelers trying to get to Puerto Rico for Christmas.
So it's better than what we expected it to be.
Our friends heading south were among the lucky few, while the rest of us, not so much. We were getting onto the shuttle, but we couldn't get on because right now those shuttles are full, so now we're waiting for another one. An extra 7 minutes of wait time. The next bus pulling up, piling in like sardines, and it's a quick 10-minute drive to the entrance. Making our way upstairs to security. Thankfully we do not need to check a bag, but if you do need to, you go right here. It took people in line about 15 or 20 minutes to do that. But now the next part that some people really dread is the TSA lines. According to officials, CLT is the 7th busiest airport. You can see clusters of people flooding in. TSA expecting to screen 40 million passengers across the U.S. during the holidays.
You can see lots of people are here to catch their flight. That line for checkpoint 1 stretching hundreds of feet back, and it could take you a long time per what the airport officials are telling us. But how long really is that? Let's put that to the test.
Waiting in line, some are already feeling the fatigue.
I didn't realize CLT was like this big.
Continuously zigzagging in and out, making our way to the front. Out on the other side, taking my items away from the crowded area and off to my gate.
All right. It says it right here, 23 minutes. That's all it took for us to get through TSA, which is pretty impressive given that this is the holiday season. Now, officials tell us that Charlotte Douglas is considered a connector airport. It's also a hub for American Airlines. This means a lot of flights will move in and through Charlotte Douglas every single day, and a lot more during the holidays. So you'll see a lot more people. So to save some time, your best friend in this situation could be a moving sidewalk. It could make all the difference getting you to point A to point B all quicker. But if that doesn't work sometimes, pack your running shoes.
The congestion is felt inside.
It's been a little bit
miserable.
Man, miserable, I'll go with that.
Crazy. Like, crazy.
But eventually, through it all, making it.